less than 10 minutes as it's pushing to the east around 45 to 50 miles an hour. And just by the storm speed itself, you can assume the winds associated with it are around that. So 45, 50 mile an hour winds doesn't sound like a lot, but with all the rain we've seen, the tree roots can't grab into the soil and the trees topple over like twigs. And that's what we saw a couple of days ago with the straight line wind in our southern counties. But again, you can see the rotation here. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It's fairly defined.
Yeah, it is. And we're going to kind of put a storm track on here. Do we know how fast the storm is moving?
About 40, I think it was 45-ish.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to have to zoom out a little bit there. If you want to put a storm track on that real quick. But right there east of Crumstown, that's where we're seeing, you know, the kind of the red on the green. That's the rotation that we're picking up on radar. And, you know, down the road, Mishawaka, certainly South Bend, needs to keep an eye on this because those areas are included in the tornado warning, which I believe continues until 6:45. There is the storm, and I was just notified that we do have, we might be having a live picture coming in from the bypass looking west. We're told that rotation is being seen. We're hopefully going to get that image up for you shortly. Just so we can put a picture to what we're seeing on radar. And again, your pictures and video absolutely incredibly valuable because it gives us confirmation on what's going on outside. Yeah,
so this is certainly a wall cloud right there. This is the bypass looking to, this would be looking to the west. And this is probably, this is near Ironwood or 31. One of those exits looking to the west. So here's where it bends north, the bypass. And that's where we're watching right there. We can see in the radar, it is rotating. What we can't see is underneath it. And again, I've had no reports of tornadoes, but this storm is capable of producing a tornado. We can see it rotating a lot.
Matt, that's actually a pretty good picture of a, are we actually still on it? Yeah, that is a pretty good picture there of a rotating wall cloud. We have confirmation that that is rotating. That is the parent cloud to what could be a developing tornado at any time. No surprise that this storm is warned as it continues to move to the east. So now we do have confirmation of this rotation. Obviously, this is live one. Matt, check that out.
Yeah, that is a textbook classic wall cloud there. What you just saw, I know it looks ominous. It's going to be on the other side of this tree line. Let's stay with this picture here. It'll look creepy with the trees because you won't see the bottom of it.
And that's another reason why, you know, you have an obstructed view in these situations because you could have trees blocking what's going on in the distance, but what we clearly saw there was what appears to be a wall cloud, and hopefully we'll be able to get some visible rotation.
On this. So I saw oh, that is a picture. That is textbook classic wall cloud.
Yeah,
right
there. It is.
And I know that looks really creepy, right? Because you can't see the bottom, so you think it's a massive tornado, and certainly can understand why. But right under the trees, if we got rid of those trees there, you would be able to see the sky, and it is rotating at a pretty good clip. So we'll stay with this here for a second because I want to. They're now moving north. So this is the State Road 23 exit here. They're coming up on the South Bend Four Winds Casino, and that is right where the rotation is about, I'd say 4 or 5 miles to their west.
Yeah, so for those of you just tuning in now, I know we're getting a lot of new viewers constantly tuning in, so it may sound like we're repeating ourselves, but again, as this threat evolves, people are hearing this information for the first time. Let's actually, Matt, let's go back to the velocity mode. I wanted to show exactly what we're looking at on radar. Red next to green. That's where we're seeing the rotation with this storm. And then the camera shot that you see on the road on the bypass out there, that's actually what we're seeing live right now, right underneath that radar indicated rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. So also, whoever, is that Lauren and Jaden there?
I believe that's Joe and DJ.
DJ, okay. Let's have them, they need to get off the bypass. They don't need to keep chasing the storm.
Sure.
So we saw what we needed to see. So if they want to go to the Four Winds, and wait this thing out, that would be good, or just get away from it. They don't need to be there anymore because there's some pretty neat, pretty good rotation here. So this is where they're at. They're right about here. We're going to have them get off the bypass here. Take it back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. That is clearly a low-hanging, rotating wall cloud. One of the big indications here of a rotating storm is are the clouds moving in a circular motion? Can you guys put me up with that video behind me? Is that possible? That is a perfect, see now we lost the trees so you can see the bottom of it, but at any time, perfect. At any time, a tornado can come down within seconds from this because it's rotating up in the sky, and that's only what, 300, 500 feet? Yeah. It's not that far. That's what we have to watch. So you see how these little things come down, little funnel clouds? That's what we have to watch because one of those real quickly could reach the ground. That's where we don't want to be. And also something else you got to consider here is below the wall cloud, you may not actually see the tornado until it starts picking up debris. So there's certainly a possibility that a tornado could be on the ground, but you're not seeing it yet because there's no well-defined funnel. Oftentimes we see a debris cloud at the surface kicking up debris below a wall cloud that doesn't appear to have a funnel descending from it. So you have to assume that we have a tornado on the ground in that situation. Clearly we're getting confirmation that we're seeing rotation, not there, but just on radar too.
And also with these wall clouds, it can be raining real heavy. That's the gray you see there. And sometimes a tornado can be behind it, which we call rain wrap. You can't see it. And again, that's why the ground truth is important. Certainly a real good wall cloud, and we're starting to get out of the shot, which is good. That means they're moving north of this thing like we asked them to do, because you don't want to be in the path of it. But they're in good shape now. They're pretty close to the US 20 exit, which is about 2-3 miles ahead of this. So this is good. It's going to rain real heavy for them. It'll probably get some hail, but the rotation's out behind DJ and who was it, Joe?
Yes.
So that's good.
Good evening. I'm Caroline Torrey tonight. We are looking at some really truly incredible images that have come in from a lot of our viewers tonight. We have had a lot of severe weather just come through our area in waves. Matt Rudkin has been tracking it really all day and all evening. And Matt, you know, this storm system has been scattered. Some areas are really truly just hit harder than others.
Absolutely. Yep. Good way to put it. So I'm going to focus on one particular area real quick. Here's the overcap. This is the recap of what came through over the past few hours. Several discrete thunderstorms. And by discrete, I mean it wasn't really a line. And there's one area I want to focus on way at the bottom of WSBT land here in Fulton and Miami counties, right between Akron and Macy, Indiana. There's Akron. There's Macy. A huge tornado touchdown right along the county line. I want to show you a couple of things. There's where the actual path was. And by the way, it didn't just stop. It continued into parts of Wabash and eventually Whitley counties as well. This is velocity data, wind direction and speed. I don't need to tell you where the tornado was, right? Incredible imagery right there as it wrapped up and then again pushed off to the east. This was a picture. We call this a wedge tornado from a few miles away. I want to go a little bit closer and look at a vertical direction. This line here is 10,000 feet in the atmosphere. Here's where we live on the ground. Rotation over 1.5 miles to 2 miles into the sky. Several different reports here of tornadoes. This is a debris signature here, and you can see it. You'll see the little be a green color right there. That's the debris, wood and sand and even trees being sucked up into the sky. I want to step out of the way. I want to show this to you for a couple of seconds here. This was the tornado that touched down between Akron and Macy. Again, incredible imagery here of a very wide wedge tornado. And watch a couple of things I want you to notice. Number one, there are little vortices or mini tornadoes around the big one. Number two, you'll notice here in just a few seconds, you'll see flashes. Those are high tension power lines that are snapping out in the distance. And number three, if you look closely, you'll eventually see debris as wood and again, the power lines are sucked up into the sky and thrown around. Incredible imagery. And thanks to everybody who sent pictures and videos. These are several different tornado reports, and probably it was the same tornado. You can kind of see a line there. Southern Fulton and southern Kosciuszko County. Wind and hail reports also were seen across our area, especially in Indiana. So here's the good news. First alert storm tracker radar, other than a little bit of rain, is sweeping all clear. There's a little rain showers down here between Winnemac and Rochester. Meteorologist Ed Russo has been here all day. He helped tackle the severe weather coverage. He's got the good news in the form of less severe chances coming up on your full forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks so much, Matt. Well, of course, people are left dealing with incredible damage after strong winds and heavy rain spread throughout our area this afternoon. This especially near the west side of Coots Lake. That's where we find WSBT 22's Lauren Becker. Lauren, what kind of damage are you looking at tonight?
Well, Caroline, I'm on Canny Avenue. That's on the west side of Coots Lake. And if you look up here, a tree fell on this home. There's actually a tree service up there right now working to remove part of the branches and part of the tree that's up there. But when this happened, there was a woman inside. She lives here and she was doing her dishes. She had only 3 or 4 dishes left to put in the dishwasher, and she heard this loud noise, and her son was on the back porch. She yelled for her son, and then they watched the skylight, which was at the ceiling of the kitchen, fall right in front of them. Glass shattered all over the ground, and they ran outside to see what could have caused it and found the tree on the top of the roof. They also went over to the other side of the house where they saw a tree fell on her son's car, and she says she's lucky to be alive, but also she is in shock.
I thought that the house was like caving in, or I didn't know what to think. And then you don't know what to do. And I had my phone, I grabbed my phone and I called 911.
Now, right now, again, like I said, tree service is working to get some of the branches down and protect the roof right now. Luckily, the homeowner does have homeowner's insurance, but like I said earlier, she is shaken up after all this, but she is lucky to be alive. Live in Coons Lake, I'm Lauren Becker, WSBT 22 News.
And we're receiving more photos from viewers this morning showing the aftermath of yesterday's severe storms. Come take a look. In this photo, you can see a funnel cloud. This was taken in South Bend near Four Winds. Then we have this one, a tree that fell on top of a house, this in the Coons Lake area where they had strong winds. And then this is the tornado reported near Akron last night that caused a lot of damage. And that's where WSBT 22's Bree Isom joins us now. She's in Macy. That's where the tornado hit last night. Bree, a lot of damage there.
Leanne, a lot of damage. So I'm standing here right, as you can see, on a porch. But if you turn around, there's nothing there. This house was leveled by this tornado yesterday. I mean, as you can see, there's a fridge just standing there. That's the only thing that's really standing in this house. You see the brick being ripped off of the foundation. If you go back toward here, you can kind of see a basement where people were hopefully able to seek shelter. But again, a horrific scene here this morning. You just totally see the walls just demolished, and you can kind of see the outlining of maybe a bathroom or a kitchen. This is just horrible damage, and we're continuing to look for more damage because, like Leanne was saying, we've had pictures being sent in by viewers of all the damage that's been happening here in Macy. Again, Macy, Indiana is just south of Akron, so this is the Akron area, but we're continuing to survey more damage this morning. We'll continue to drive down Macy more and to look for more of the damages by this tornado. Again, we do not know the size of this tornado yet. The National Weather Service still has to come down here and kind of survey all the damages in order to know what size the tornado was. But we'll continue to update you on all the storm damages this morning on WSBT 22. For now, I'm live in Macy, WSBT 22 News.
A day of cleanup across northern Indiana after tornadoes and strong storms pounded the area last night.
This is a look at the damage this afternoon from Drone 22 over Miami County. The hardest hit areas are along County Road 1500 North. That's between the towns of Macy and Akron. The good news, there are no reports of any injuries, but that storm did have people running for cover in Macy.
Yeah, it certainly did. WSBT 22's DJ Manu is live there tonight. And DJ, the reaction today, a little different than we might think.
Yeah, there were a lot of smiles on faces of the volunteers throughout the day, not because of the damage, which is heartbreaking to see, but because the sense of the community coming together to lend a hand is something that's going to be as memorable to BJ Hunt as the actual tornado.
Crash down right here is what I was doing this right here. And the two dogs were right where you was at. And it was just chaotic wind and stuff pelting me. And like I said, I could feel like it was trying to pick me up. And
with seconds to take cover, BJ Hunt held on for his life. And just as quickly as it came, it was over. But when Hunt walked out of his basement and looked around,
what you see I've done in 2.5 years and 15 seconds, it's gone.
Thankful to be alive, the focus has been now on cleanup, tearing down the remaining structure, cutting up mangled trees, the community doing their part.
It shows that we're not afraid to work. It shows that we put friends and family first. If there's a need, we're going to be there.
Titus Rutt drove 15 miles to get here.
I don't know these people at all. We drove down the road and see the house was completely destroyed, so we pulled in to help out.
Seeing the support has touched Hunt, but he's not surprised.
I don't know if it's this way everywhere. I don't know, but I know where I live, this is a norm.
While volunteers continue to clean up, officials say danger is still high.
There's always a risk of tetanus or cutting yourself with a saw, and that's why our crew's just sort of driving around with the emergency gear just waiting.
Cleanup will take long, restarting will take longer. But Hunt remains optimistic for one reason.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I said, this is superficial stuff here, man. This is not what life's about. What you see up there on top, that's what life's about right there. Everybody helping everybody. People who don't know nobody helping this person, that person through a hard time. So I have every reason to be smiling.
And says he will be repairing here and rebuilding his home, not just because this is where his home is, but he wants to stay within the community that has helped him so much. As for the recovery as it continues, officials are asking people to coordinate their efforts as well as not blocking the road. That way emergency crews can get into places that much easier. Live in Macy, DJ Manu, WSBT 22 News.